Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Motorcycle Rewind, and today we're mobile. So we're heading over to our buddy Bob's place because he's got an interesting motorcycle that needs to be started for the first time in years. Stay with us.
The story of the Royal Enfield.
Because it's been 15 years since it started.
About that. I've had it 10, and it hadn't run for some time before that because it had been wrecked through Craigslist or something. I can't remember. It was in Tallahassee. Well, I've got a good friend in Tallahassee. It was like a $500 bike, you know. And he said, "You want me to get it? I'll buy it and trailer it back to the shop, and then you can come for a visit and you can take it back home with you." I said, "Well, if you don't mind." So that's what he did. And he had to wrestle it home to a trailer because the front fork was folded back against the frame.
Yeah.
Somebody had rear-ended. It's a 98 model, and it only had 3,000 miles on it.
So it did run when parked.
Oh yeah, it was driven to the wreck.
That's right.
He drove it to the accident.
That's right.
Yeah. So I know it'll run.
Yeah.
Speedometer said 3,000 miles, so I pulled the tappet cover off the side, and the inside of the engine is spotless clean.
Perfect.
It's unbelievable. But I didn't have a title with it. But the guy did give me a notarized bill of sale.
Yep.
Well, I fixed the accident damage. It's got a Yamaha 650 front end on it.
As well it should.
And it works fine. It's probably a better front end than the original Enfield Indian front end. So I fixed that, and I really didn't do anything with it other than that because I always had something else going. What I was actually waiting for was the bike to become 25 years old, so I can title it now on the antique statute that Louisiana has. And I have a notarized bill of sale, which will greatly assist the thing. So now that it's had its 25th birthday, I've decided to drag it out and crank it up. Also, in the interim, I did some work on the transmission. Enfield had to, when they mandated left side shifting in 1975, a lot of manufacturers, Enfield included, simply jury-rigged a left side shifter with all kind of crazy crossover rods and linkages and stuff like that. So, and it never shifted right. You couldn't shift it. The throw was about that far. Clue. Harley did it on the Sportster. Triumph had the good taste to at least re-engineer it a little bit and bring the shifter out through the left side, primary side. But the Enfield was a disaster. You couldn't have found any gear in 2 days. You know? So it was an easy conversion back over to the right side if you had the older pre-1975 cover. So as it turns out, Howard, bless his rest his soul and bless his heart, Howard had some Royal Enfield parts, as you could imagine. He had every kind of part. So I was talking to Howard one day about it, and he said, "Well, I got a transmission left over. If you want it, you can have it." Well, it had it was an old one, and it still had the right side shifter. So he gave me the transmission, and I've swapped the shifter, the end cover. You got to change the shift cover, outer transmission cover, which has the shifter shaft sticking through. And that's really all there is to it. It's no internal changes at all. So I changed it over to a right side shifter, but I still never ran it with that setup. So I got it out the other day and basically did the hasn't run in 15-year prep thing for it. You know, check the fuel tank, clean the carb, check the fluids, and I think it's ready to go. I got fire. I rigged up a toggle switch for just direct to the point, to the coil, and I think it should run.
Well, it's one way to find out.
We're going to find out.
This is a 98?
Yeah, it's a 98 model. Actually, you know, it's actually a 1949 model built in 1998.
Yeah.
When Royal Enfield went out of business in 1970, I think it was, the India factory didn't get the message.
Yeah.
You know, and they just kept building them. If you notice, it doesn't say Royal Enfield. They couldn't use the Royal until 2000 or so. You know, people say, "Oh, you can start anything. You got a roller." Yeah. Well, you also got to have help.
That's right.
So,
which is why I'm here.
Yeah, this is what I rigged to. If it takes off, it's going to bring the trolley,
the gantry with it. Yeah.
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 So I haven't put the plug in it. I had spark.
And guys, if you don't have a set of starter rollers, this is something that works out
here's
awesome.
What we go. Here we go.
Here, let me, before you do it, let me set this up.
I'm just gonna. Oh, and I pulled the. You see, this is called a quill bolt.
Yep.
It goes into the end of the crankshaft.
Yeah, right there.
And this oil pump, one side is feed, one side is return. Well, if you loosen this quill bolt, it's got a copper washer under it. If you loosen the quill bolt and you spin it over, if the pump's working, it'll
shoot all out.
It'll leak oil out.
Yeah, good.
So I checked for oil flow, and we got oil flow. Let's see what we got. It's making noise. Let's put the plug in it.
Yep.
Let's turn the gas on. I don't know. What do I do with the plug? The plug's on this side.
That's why it takes so long to build a motorcycle, because you can't find the parts that you put and where you put them. Okay, let's see.
You see this little handle? You know what that is.
That's your decomp lever, right?
Yeah, that's the decompressor lever. And if you ever tried to crank a big single,
you need a little help.
You know why that's on there. Because the knack is you bring it up on compression.
Yep.
And then you open the decompressor and you bump it just past center.
Yeah, and then you kick down.
Then you kick. That way you got a full rotation of flywheel inertia to work in your favor.
Oh, I think we got fuel. I think we got fuel.
It's probably running out everywhere.
It is. I'm trying to find the off.
Okay.
Well, at least we need to clean that part of the...
Yeah, and I just checked the float. The float needle was sticking. We're gonna let it run down, and we're gonna try to crank it on what's in the bolt.
Yep. We'll let it.
I think the valve, the petcock works. I think.
Oh yeah, it's shut off. Well, at least the good thing is now you can clean part of the engine.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
That's the advantage. I want to get a fire extinguisher over here too.
Oh yeah, we may need that.
Let me show you where the ignition switch is in case you got to run over here.
Okay, it's right there. Yeah.
Just because I had a hole
toggle
there.
Yeah.
Right. All right, so turn it on.
Okay, let's see.
And I'm going to pull the decompression release.
Sounded like it made noise. Definitely a lot of smoke.
Yep.
Transmission's working. Transmission's working. Yeah. Starting to clear up. Yeah. Yeah, it's already starting to clear up. And we're a little loose here. We're about to lose our...
Yeah.
You're throwing oil out the front. It's not going to lose back. Yeah, it looks like we're a little loose in here, huh? How does this exhaust?
Plugs in.
It just plugs in.
Yeah.
Just to, oh, and this bolt right here holds it in.
Yeah. Is there a bolt that fell out?
No. It's just right here. It just bolts in.
Oh yeah.
It just jams in, and that's it.
I bet it fouled the plug.
Oh, I'm sure. Because you got a lot of oil coming out of here.
Yeah. Yep. It's well. They tell you when you park them.
Yeah.
Park it with the crank pin at the top.
Oh, so it doesn't.
Because it won't. If it's, you have to understand how it feeds oil.
Right.
But if you park it at the, it's because it's a wet. It's a dry sump, but it doesn't have an oil tank. The tank is between the engine and the transmission. And if you park it with the crank pin at top, it puts it above the oil level, and the oil doesn't run through the rod oil holes into the sump. But it runs, and it didn't make any noise.
No, it didn't sound like a bag of marbles in a dryer, so that works out pretty good.
Oh, it ran out of gas.
That's what it did. Yeah.
All right,
we got to fix that float.
But I'm still going to pull the plug because I got the tools right here.
What was this?
That's the frame got bent.
Oh, okay. So you had to straighten the frame.
So
that's
I put it in my jig, and I just put some relief cuts right there.
So you can straighten it out.
To let the tube come back.
Yeah.
That's wet, but I think a little carb cleaner.
Yeah. Or a nice gassy rag.
Pays to have a carb leak sometimes, don't it?
Yeah, man, it makes it easier.
I'm gonna spray this off with some cleaner and we'll let it be drying.
Yeah, you're definitely cleaning the engine.
I just pieced together the throttle system. Look, check this out. Mick carb. Indeed, at heart.
Yeah. So you just got a sticky float. Or a stuck needle. I'm guessing the needle's stuck.
The needle was stuck.
Yeah, needle's stuck.
But who knows when it'll stick again and why.
Well, let's see how dirty it is.
Yeah, I cleaned it all. Cleaned it all real well. I've done this so many times, it's a piece of cake on a Makuni. And I even took the seat out to, and if you, let's see.
You know what I've done too is like a little Scotch-Brite or something on the corners.
Exactly. So.
We're shiny now. Let's see if it works. Who knows?
Better.
Yeah.
It's never going to be shiny again.
Yeah.
If it has no bad mechanical noises, and it apparently don't, I'm just going to buy another carb.
Check it and do the. Yep, you're sealing up.
Well, it's tight. It's 100%.
Oh yeah, it's basically a new motorcycle. It's just been sitting around. Like you said, it drove to the wreck.
Yeah, it drove to the wreck. Yeah, I love these big thumpers, man.
Oh yeah.
I grew up in an era when the BSA Gold Star 500 ruled the roost, and the Norton Manx, the Matchless G80 were all legendary big British singles. All right, let's see. Let's turn this on. And I know fuel is going to run out of it.
No way. It's I know it's not going to run out. Just wallop it just for fun.
All right, I'm going to put it on reserve.
What do you think? Is it going to leak?
Yeah, it's going to leak. It's going to leak like a sieve, and we're not going to know why. We'll never know why.
Did you turn the fuel on?
Yeah. It looks like there's fuel in the line. That line's not on there real good.
Well, because it's not leaking.
Yeah. Well, go figure. Huh. Let me get the plug. We're gonna try it.
Sometimes you just get lucky.
We got something, so I don't know.
You got ignition on?
No, not yet. Ignition on. Decompression. Yamaha front end.
Yep, you gotta love that.
Works real well. No front brake. I can't stand no front brake. Whew. And I rode choppers with no front brakes.
Yeah.
All right, here's the drill.
Kick it.
You bring this up on compression, which it has plenty of.
Yeah.
And then you nudge it just past. And then that gives you a complete rotation or near complete rotation of flywheel inertia.
Oh, you almost, man, that would have been.
Almost did it. Oh, maybe I ought to turn the fuel on.
Oh, yeah. Little fuel. Let's see if it leaks.
It will.
No, it's not, man. You fixed it. More revolution on the...
No, you're not getting it into the advance. Not at those RPMs. Not at kick speed. I got some old Harley mufflers. Probably soaked and left the battery.
Yeah. What, are you gonna ride it?
And not without a front brake. Plus I want to put a kill switch on it.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. They kind of route these.
Yeah, I like it. When I ride one I've never ridden before and I don't know what's going to hang up, I like to have a kill switch.
We got some magic smoke over here. Hold on, what are these?
Huh?
We got some magic smoke over here.
Oh yeah, oh shit. I meant to tape those up.
We were just letting the smoke out.
That's the alternator windings.
Yeah.
Don't. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it'll get hot. Yeah, it was smoking.
Yeah, I need to tape those up individually.
Yeah, we'll leave it right there for right now. Running motorcycle.
Yeah, and I'll damn near crank it.
Yeah. I think it's just finding the sweet spot.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, there's a knack to big singles.
Right.
You got to learn each one. Each one's a little different.
It reminds me of the Harley Sprint I had.
Yes. Oh, you had a Sprint?
Yeah. It's just you got to get it in the right spot.
Right.
And if you get it in the wrong spot, it'll take you to the orthopedic surgeon.
Yes, it will.
And that was just a 350. So, yeah, this is the same way.
Yeah.
Well, good deal.
Well, it runs.
We did it.
Amazing.
We did it. And it's hot as hell out here. Especially now that it's old.
Puking oil everywhere.
No, man. It must be a Honda.
It must be.
You know. It's not leaking anymore. And, you know, it was just the 5th time you take the carb apart and put it back together is the one that fixes it.
Yeah.
1998 Enfield Bullet.
Yep, Bullet.
500 cc. but made as a replica to the early.
The same as from 49 on.
Yeah. The one thing they changed was they figured out how to keep the oil on the inside. Okay guys, so there you have it. Yet another episode from Motorcycle Rewind. We went to Bob's. We got an old, not as old as what we normally work with, but an old Royal Enfield 500 single cylinder. Got it up and running for the first time in years. So, as always, thanks for watching, and do me a favor, like, tag, share, and follow us on Instagram at Motorcycle Rewind, and go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. Thanks again, guys, and have a great day.